Hello there, it's Steve here in Sydney of the lay GNOSIS website truebluehealer.com, and this video is a little chat about a well-worn phrase we find in much literature. It's a phrase that seems to be in every century of our history. It's used by wise people writing in philosophy and spirituality and even theological circles, and it's this famous phrase, the divine spark in man. So what could this phrase mean that's so widely used? And to the casual reader, or the slightly interested reader, it might just be a sort of glib, elitist turn of phrase, something, a bit of clever journalese to hold your attention, to make you wonder and read the next sentence, that sort of thing. But it does keep cropping up all over the place, in every part of history, in every culture. Every language translates it the same way. There seems to be no culture that can't produce this phrase, the divine spark in man. So we've got to ask a question, why does it continually persist? To the casual reader, it's often pure mystery. And you think, why do you keep seeing this? It seems to be all over the place if you just keep reading. And it always seems to be written by some very clever people, who are certainly very intellectually minded and gifted people in terms of expressive language, etc. But are they just using this impressive turn of phrase to impress you with their literary skills? Well, no. The other mystery you might be asking is, why is it a mystery to you but not to them? And the answer is something has transformed them and shown them that there's a divine spark within themselves. It's a personal experience thing. And over the centuries, there seems to be about two ways to get there. One of them is a near-death experience which transforms a person and rewires their brain permanently, giving a small percentage of people doing this a quite different outlook. And what happens is the divine spark within them reveals itself to them in their internal daily awareness. That's during normal, everyday life. Another way to get there, which is far more difficult and less efficient, is decades of meditation, which very few people have got the time and patience for. Now, the people who write these things, that use this lovely phrase, this divine spark in every man, meaning every person, of course, they're often very expressive, but they never actually tell you what's going on in their own heads. And I'm going to tell you now what's going on in their heads. It goes like this. They typically have an internal mentoring voice that's not in charge of them. It just helps them out. Gives them nudges past mis and disinformation so they can elucidate the truth for themselves, which is very, very important to the divine spark awakening in a person. Another thing they have is vivid messaging dreams, which often provide all sorts of information. There are also other types of communication with these what you might call illuminated people who have discovered the divine spark coming to life in their daily awareness. You might call them that. But one thing they can't do throughout history is they cannot give it to you, the reader. It just doesn't work that way. They have it, they can talk about it, but to you it's a mystery and just words on a page. Some of the more spiritually oriented people may be oriented that way for a damn good reason. They may have heard an internal voice fleetingly addressing them in times of great duress, great need. Or they could have had an urgent message in a vivid messaging dream once or twice in their life. And they remember that for decades. They never actually forget this event. And they do a lot more study and discover, well, that's a piece of the divine spark revealing itself to you just for a couple of minutes to give you an urgent message. Rest of the time, the divine spark remains as a silent partner watching you grow. Kind of like an internal shadow, going everywhere you go, but never speaking to you, just listening until you wake up to its presence. So up till now, it has been a bit of a dilemma. You've got these people who seem to know a whole lot more than they really should. They have wisdom and confidence to write these things. They're so damn sure of themselves. Yet to you it's likely a complete and utter mystery, and you're thinking, what are you missing out on? Well, what you've missed out on simply is the divine spark hasn't chosen to reveal itself to you yet. And now for the good news. To prove to you that the divine spark is in yourself and can be awakened, a new natural process has been put into place in the last 10 years or so. At the GNOSIS website, truebluehealer.com, you can be guided through a beginner's tour where you are shown how to do an exercise which will provide you with immediate physical feedback that the divine spark exists in you. It takes only 20 minutes. Within 7 days, you'll have some very vivid messaging dreams of considerable import. Within 10 days, you'll start to get some signals into your personal physicality. Within 3 to 6 months, you'll start to hear this mentoring voice that the great sages talk about in their distinguished writings over the centuries. So you can now become a sage too. Now, how does it work? Well, the website is a fully automated thing. I don't watch you, you don't talk to me. I just give you a formal lesson to show you something that you probably haven't seen before. It's a fully automated website and it can produce 100,000 Gnostics daily. Gnostic is a person whose divine spark has awakened within them and is revealing itself to them in their daily awareness. Now, every person contains this divine spark on the planet. Meaning, one thing you must conclude straight away, it is clearly not a religious experience. It just cannot be if it's in everybody, every living human. So that's pause for thought. That what you're going to learn there at the website, this biochemical switch that enables the divine spark to start dripping into your daily internal awareness, it is a purely natural process. And your awaiting for this has really been a kind of internal gestational period for you to wake up. You've been growing up into something that you don't even know what you are yet, but the divine spark within you will show you what you are over a period of many months. The mentoring voice will clarify a lot of things for you. Now, at the website, doing the beginner's tour, which takes only 20 minutes, who's going to succeed and who's going to fail? I'll tell you, the best frame of mind is to be calmly curious. And by that I mean with the innocence of a child of 3 or 4 with no previous experience. For example, a child picks up a remote control. All it can do is try random testing and evidence-based thinking to learn its way into a new understanding. That's what you did when you were 2, 3 and 4 years old. If you can just step away from your strongest prejudices for 20 minutes on your education and stuff like that, because some of it's wrong, you know, and if you just put it aside for 20 minutes and use your native intelligence that you first had a long time ago. Now, who's going to fail? Who will be unable to do this, to awaken the divine spark within themselves and experience it on a daily basis? Well, there's a whole bunch of angry people who won't be able to do it. They're called, have a variety of names, pseudo-skeptics. They're fans of Richard Dawkins, the militant atheist. He could never do this. Neither could James Randi. He could never do this either. If you're a follower of either of those types of people, Michael Shermer, the whole skeptic movement, then you have an aggression problem, a bombast problem toward other people. Your learning disability that prevents you being able to awaken the divine spark within yourself is in fact your bombastic desire to, and typically in a very verbally violent or sneering way, to impose your silly prejudices on other people. You are the people, the pseudo-skeptics, the Shermer, Randi type people, the Dawkins people, who run around the internet bad-mouthing religious people. You cannot do this because you're so full of anger, it disables your thinking. Okay? So you're not invited, you will not be able to do this if you're a militant atheist, a professional skeptic, bad-mouthing religious people. Okay, so you're not invited, don't bother coming, don't bother commenting under this video. Now, I mention again, this divine spark is literally in everybody, and it's already been proven in 10 countries, this website, in biochemically triggering the drip feed of the divine spark into one's daily awareness in the form of messaging dreams and an internal mentoring voice. It's proven in 10 countries. There is some physical evidence provided immediately and later more physical evidence. So much evidence, you'll need to keep a diary because it snowballs, compounds on a daily and weekly basis very quickly.